Greetings everyone, Brett here. We are back with another 5-minute review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Zeta Gundam. This is the version 2.0 Master Grade set. And off the bat, I'm going to say that for the cost of this kit, I think it is quite a deal. You're getting a lot of plastic, a lot of options, and I think it's going to be well worth the money. So we're going to go ahead and take a dive into the kit, and I'll show you what's going on in here, what you can expect out of this kit. And so right off the bat, we're going to be taking a look at the rather large and chunky display base that it comes with. This thing is a lot of plastic, it's very dense, and will provide a great stable platform for displaying your completed Zeta Gundam. Next up, we have this multicolor frame. We got yellow and red parts and black parts. Now, one of the things that I noted kind of as a consistent just a consistency with this kit is there's a lot of like artifacts in the like brightly colored plastics, the reds, the blues, things like that, and to some extent the black plastic where you can kind of see like swirl marks and various things. I mean, it's an artifact of the molding process. Can't always be helped, but just be aware. You do get 3 figures in here. You get a seated pilot, a standing pilot, and then like a ground crew figure for displaying on your display base. So that's always nice. I always like it when these kits include figures. But I mean, overall, the quality of the molding and the detailing is pretty high, and I couldn't necessarily find any general issue with the detailing or the molding quality. So definitely get top marks for that. You do get a pretty logical breakdown in the way the parts all are laid out. A rather extensive polycap set. A lot of the frames are doubled, so you'll have like 2 pairs of the same frame, usually just because you have like, you know, similar parts across legs, arms, things like that. These are more parts for the display base. You got like the Gundam's launcher thing for when it's taken off, plus various stands to support it in different poses. You get some great internal structure detail for like under armor panels and things like that. So that's always nice and a welcome detail. For those of you that paint your Gundams, you'll have a lot of options for like painting some really cool details in here. Blue frames, again, just overall high quality. But like I said, there are some interesting artifacts in the plastic itself. You do get posable hands, so you get like 3 fingers, the thumb and the index finger all kind of separate, which is nice. This again, this is a lot of like internal frame stuff for the Gundam itself. But it is nice. The posability on this looks to be really high, and you get a lot of options for posing your Gundam and displaying it. Initially, this read to me as black plastic, but it almost gives off like a really dark navy blue, and I'm not just sure if it's like the lighting in my studio or not, but some clear plastic, semi, bendable beam saber stuff, and then you get 3 sets of stickers. You get this clear self-adhesive sticker set for like all the stencil data on the Gundam, this foil-backed self-adhesive sticker for various details, and then finally you do get some dry transfers for some of the more prominent markings on the Gundam. I'm always a big fan of dry transfers and really appreciate it when they are included in a kit. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the instruction manual here, and this is a fairly thick manual, starting off with a parts breakdown, and then kind of your logical, sequence of events: head, torso, arms, legs, things like that. The smaller images and kind of like how much they cram into each page kind of makes the instructions feel a little cluttered, but if you kind of just sit down and look at each step, it should make sense. Some comparison between the older versions of this kit and the newer version, and then finally we get into like the backpack, the weapons, the wings, things like that, and how that all goes together. The display stand here, different posing options for the Gundam, sticker guide or sticker placement guide, how to do like all the transformation stuff from the different modes. So it takes you through all the steps for doing that, and then finally you get a color guide on the back. So if you're interested in this Gundam, head on over to mrshobby.com, where we've got this one and thousands of others just like it. Take care, everyone. Bye.